Hey everyone, Eggman here with another video, and today we have a top 16 breakdown for the TAK Brisbane Regionals for the Fusion World card game. It had 127 players for this top 16 cut that we see here today, and a couple things before we get started. First, if you guys enjoy the Fusion World content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe. It does help the channel and makes me know that you guys want to see more Fusion World content in general. And also, we do have a tournament for FBO2 literally tonight as this video comes out. It's going to start at 5 p.m. PST or 8 p.m. EST. It's $6 to enter. First place gets a box, and there's other prizes for top 8, and as well as it will be live streamed on my Twitch and YouTube. So if you're followed on YouTube, you get a notification for when we go live for that. So should be a lot of fun, and we'll go over the deck list in the next day after that finishes. But going into this event, again, this is going to be an FBO1 tournament. It's kind of that weird thing where it's the first regional, so everyone's excited for the results, but it's also like these aren't going to be relevant that much because they are switching to FBO2 right afterwards, and I think that's going to be pretty different from what we're seeing right here. But I do kind of want to go over them still and just show you the deck list. So you can find all these deck lists on my website, Eggman Events, which is linked in the description as well. And let's just jump on into it. So again, this past weekend, 127 players, 7 rounds of Swiss best of 1 into a top 8 cut best of 3. And in our top 16, we do see 6 Brolys, 5 Gohan Childhood, 3 Friezas, a Beerus, and also a Goku Black sneaking on in. So again, like this is when we went over the North American event for the Carta Magica Montreal regionals that happened at the same time, we did see like pretty much Broly was the only green deck that topped of this one. It took out both of these. So seeing Gohan as well top, I think, is really interesting. And then we also do have the additional add of the Goku Black instead of the 2 additional red decks for both of the Gokus. So I think that's an interesting difference between the two. Again, this meta really didn't have time to develop, at least at a high scale, because we didn't have a lot of tournaments to go for it. I think it's pretty clear that Broly, or at least green, is the best color in the game. And then yellow is probably the same. Frieza top 3 and 3 for both events, and then blue and red kind of middling. I think red's still better than blue in set 1, but we did just have 1 red with Beerus and 1 blue with the Goku too, so Goku Black. So anyways, we are going to go over the top placing list for each one of these leaders, starting off with our first place list, which is Zixuan with their copy of Broly. And again, I think Broly is the best leader in this set right now with FBO1. I don't know how it's going to transition to FBO2. I think a lot of people are saying it's going to be a little bit too slow for how aggressive and fast that red can be during that time. But there's not really too much to surprise. Being able to be a 25 base leader that also can ramp, I think, is very strong for the deck. I also think that in general, the deck just really is strong for the fact that we do have like the best boss monster in the game off the 8 cost Broly, which is really nice. The Aandroidd 1718, since we get to ramp, chances are their opponent only has 3 cost or lowers on the field anyways, so being able to get rid of 2 of them I think is really great with this card. And then we just have our defenses as well. So big difference I would say between this version and the version that topped for the North American event is that they aren't using nearly as many Son Gohan Childhoods. They're only running 1 of these, and they're not running the Aandroidd 16 blocker, which I think is fair. I think that's fine for like the differences. Again, I think Aandroidd 16 and Son Gohan Childhood is really good for their mirror match because it gets out of attacks and it keeps you around relatively cheaply, but at the same time, I do think that Broly's just going to be very good. We do have a good amount of extra cards here with the instant Kamehamehas and the gigantic meteors, a couple copies of Big Bang Attack, which both builds are running between this one and the first place in North America, and I think the deck is just generally pretty strong. So not a lot of diversity for this leader too, just because we are in set 1 meta, but I think the deck is strong, and congratulations to Zixuan for their finish there. Next up we have Frieza. So this is Dean's top 4 finish with this one, and I would again say that Frieza is probably the second best leader. I think it goes Broly, Frieza, and then I'm not sure who I feel like third. Some people say it's like Goku, like Red Goku, or like Son Gohan Childhood, or even Beerus at times. But I do think this leader is great at just generating a lot of value. I do think sometimes you lose to green because it doesn't matter how much value you have when they drop an 8-drop Broly and then another 8-drop Broly. But I do think that it's just very good for kind of what we're doing, in the sense that we are able to just get some draws. We were able to self-awaken very quickly with a combination of our like Raccoons, our 2-drop Frieza, and our 2-drop new knees. which is very strong. I think that this one's running more of like the King Cold package, which I think is peculiar as well. Just because we're only playing like 2 copies of Mecha Frieza and then 2 copies of King Cold. But I will say like Mecha Frieza isn't like really dead in hand. We are able to use it as a 10k, and it is being able to be searched for Zarbon, which I think is fine. So King Cold's not like terrible, and this also is a 10k combo as well, so you're not even like worried about having this in your hand either. So our other 4 drops are 3 copies of Cooler and 3 copies of Frieza, which I think is fair. I do like Cooler a little bit more in Frieza specifically because we get the free value of it restanding, which I think is very strong. Our top end of Frieza, and then a 2-2 split of Chilai and Nail, so a little suboptimal. Should be 4 copies of the Chilai, but I'll forgive them this time. So this is Dean's copy of the list, and congratulations to their top 4 with the Frieza. Next up, we have the Son Gohan Childhood. So this is John Argyros' list for top 8. And if you guys don't know John Argyros, he is a fantastic player in Dragon Ball Super Masters. He is also, I think, 3-time, maybe even more, national champion for our Australia for the Dragon Ball Masters card game. So not so crazy that he's able to do a top 8 finish for the Fusion World card game as well. Playing, again, Gohan, which I think Gohan gets a little bit more value compared to Broly and has like a little bit more defensive power. My biggest thing about Gohan is that it's really dependent on making sure that your 5-drop Goku stays on board, because if you do, you get to be a 35k attacker and once per turn a 35k defender for no cost at all, which I think is strong. So that helps the deck a lot. I do think decks that can remove the Goku, such as like Beerus at times, and sometimes like obviously Broly, if they're able to ramp it first, they can get rid of it with their 8-drop, but regardless, just a very, very strong card for this deck too. So other than that, we are playing a good amount of 1-drops. We are playing the Moa to be able to find Paragus to help self-awaken, it seems, and then also get Instant Kamehameha, Gigantic Meteor, Big Bang Attack, and Destructive Strength. We are playing our Vegeta, Son Goku, kind of helping our ramp. 1 copy of Turles, and then 2 copies 1718, and then 2 copies of our Secret Rare as well. So this card is pretty good still in this meta. I don't think it makes a transition to set 2, though it would be very good for removing old cards against something like TOP Goku. I think 7 energy is just like a little bit too costly to be able to get that off consistently, because they kind of go off on like turn 3 or 4 with like 3 or 4 energy. So other than that, I do like Gohan. I do like the fact that you do get like some choice. Like the biggest thing for the deck is like, do we use our leader effect when we don't have our 5-drop Goku out? And it's the plus and minuses, the cost and the gain from it. It's a lot of kind of choices with that too, which is really interesting. So this list, and congratulations to John for their finish there. The next up, we have our 2 other top 8 leaders, our 2 singletons, and our 2 critical front side leaders, which I still don't know how I feel about them at times. I think Beerus is going to probably do transition well into set 2. Goku Black, we'll talk about it a bit, but I think he's got a lot of new tools, but I'm not sure if they're good enough to kind of help him out. But for this Beerus here, we do have a good amount of self-awakeners, which we generally kind of need to get to the front side with the deck. I also say that Beerus is a little bit tricky to consistently do well against Broly, just because we do have a hard time with them just going and just keeping us at 5 life, and then we can't really hit them at all. We can't gain any advantage, which is very rough for us without like using cards from hand. So if they're awakened and we're not, we're in a bad spot. But we do have our Roshis, we have our 2-drop Krillin, we have our 2-drop Hit as well, our 3-drop Son Goku, our 3-drop Son Gohan, our 4-drop Son Gohan Adolescence at 3 copies, and then our end game of like the 4-drop Goku, which is pretty good. Being able to use this to end the game is fantastic for us, and I think it's very helpful. It's especially against Broly, where we're able to use this instead of going for the last point of damage on their life, we do it on one of their battle cards that we can attack over. And even if they have like a 5k or something, we can just attack with a Goku if it's already rested, kind of thing. So I think this is a great finisher for specifically Broly. And another card for the Broly matchup is the Tournament Power Arena. We're running 4 copies, which is the maximum that you can run, but I think it's great for being able to get that plus 5k every turn on offense or defense. You get to take the choice, and because of that, you are able to kind of defend a little bit easier, or just convert into a lot of free value if you're able to play a little bit slower. So I don't have much more to say, but congratulations to Benjamin for their finish with Beerus. And then lastly, we have Goku Black. This is Charlie's version of the deck. And I kind of mentioned it a little bit in the Beerus side, but I think Goku Black has potential to do very well. The issue with it is that, again, it's a critical leader on the front side, and it's really just dependent on how often you find your Mize. If you don't find your one-drop Mize, you're in a really bad spot. If you do, you have a really good chance to play the game. And unfortunately, it's just not a searchable card, right? We have a bunch of draws, sure, but if we don't see this, we're out of luck. And it's also just kind of compounded with the fact that we don't draw on the front side. Like, I generally don't mind a leader being a crit leader, but if we're kind of like this combo-based leader that we are with Goku Black, missing out on 2 or 3 additional draws to find our pieces really hurts us, I think, compared to a lot of other decks that generally are okay with just the pressure that we're able to afford. So other than that, I think the deck is great. We do get a bunch of new Zamasu one drops and other costs, and as well as some other Goku Blacks that obviously this is still the best one to play into, but some like medium value throughout the game for that too in set 2. So it's going to be interesting to see how Goku Black transitions to set 2. I think it has a chance. It definitely has support, so people are going to be trying it, but I'm not sure. I'm not convinced yet, so we'll see. But anyways, this is Charlie's version of the list, and congratulations for the top 8. And that's going to be it for this video. Again, pretty quick, just 5 different leaders to go over. And again, we're transitioning to set 2, so not the most relevant, but I did want to go over it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So that's going to be it for me. Make sure to either play in or check in my event. I will be posting the deck list and doing a tournament stream too, so you can check that out here. So it's probably on the channel already, and then that's going to be it for us. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.